hello, and welcome to Wine and Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lindsay Brantley, the founder of Camellia Elise and the Camellia Elise Academy, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. So before we get started, I wanted to send a special shout out to Queen of Body Sculpting for my amazing shirt, y'all, for my Black Spot Professional shirt. So I wanted to tell her thank you for sending it over to me. So I love it. And y'all continue supporting one another. I love supporting other spa owners, and so I was happy to wear my shirt, y'all. So y'all check out her page. Always lots of information and entertainment. All right, so shout out to Queen of Body Sculpting. But as usual, before we jump into today's topic, I wanted to toast to each and every one of you guys for making it through Hump Day. If you are new here, we are here every Wednesday evening at 6:30. Talking business, talking sculpting techniques, and everything in between. So toast to you guys for making it through another hump day. All right, you guys. So let's jump into today's topic. So I'm really excited, by the way, for those of you guys that have already signed up for this weekend. I will be going live. I'm doing a 2-day webinar. We're going to be talking in depth about sculpting. We're going to be talking about getting your business to 6 figures and beyond, 7 figures for some of y'all. So if you have not already registered, please make sure that you guys register. The link is in the bio. It's buildingbeautyempires.com/bootcamp. So y'all join us. We will be live for probably about 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday night. Okay. I know a lot of us are busy on Saturday, so it's going to be at 7 p.m. So excited for you guys that have joined. I think we already have like 200 people or so that have signed up. So y'all continue signing up. We're going to have a lot of fun. So that's one thing. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about in anticipation for that, many of you guys are in our Body Sculpting Professionals group. And so I created a chat around sculpting aesthetics practitioners because I wanted to know, hey, what are you guys wanting to know on this weekend so that I can make sure that I answer y'all's questions. We go more in depth. That's why I don't do it on Instagram. I get y'all's questions ahead of time. And then we will make sure that we answer all those questions during the 2-day live. But a lot of people in there are talking about many different services. And so one of the things that I wanted to address today and talk to you guys about that I think is extremely important is what licenses do you really need in order to do these treatments. So let me first and foremost say this. Stop letting people lie to you and take your money and say, oh, you don't need a license to do body sculpting, because every state is different. You cannot send a blanket statement out there and just say, oh, you don't need a license to do this. That's not true. Some states require a license, some states do not, okay? But at the end of the day, you have to know what umbrella you fall under depending on what state you are in. And even if, let me say this, even if you are not required to have a specific like esthetician or medical aesthetics or nursing license or whatever to do body sculpting, you should not be conducting business anywhere in any state without certain licenses. Without certain licenses and permits, okay? So stop letting people take your money and just say, oh girl, you can take my class, it doesn't matter. Yeah, your state, you don't have to worry about that, because that's not true. If a student comes to me and they say, hey, I'm thinking about taking your class, do I need licenses, the first thing we do is send them 1 or 2 digital resources that we have and let them know here's where you would start your research, or here's how you would call your board. And then I've had some girls call me and say, well, I had an instructor tell me it wasn't their responsibility to help me, so I was on my own. You're not going to get that from us. So let me start off by saying this. If you are in Alabama or if you are in Nevada, okay, those are 2 of the strictest states, okay? So Alabama is certain cities that require different business permits. Some cities are like, well, if you don't have a medical director, we're not going to give you a business permit to do this treatment. So it's not statewide, it's citywide. They put out citywide ordinances in certain places in Alabama. If you're in Alabama, that's one of the strictest places. If you are in Nevada, they are enacting a new law, and I put the date. I want to say, you guys, that it is October 1st, but I would have to go back and check in the group. But I believe as of October 1st, If you are in Nevada, you need a specialty aesthetics license to do body sculpting. So you want to be very careful about what state you are in, because every state is different. Now, I do see y'all asking me about different states. Y'all, I don't know every state like off the top of my head, but I will tell you, I think right now in California, you're still okay. It's just certain things that you want to look up as far as different types of radio frequency lasers that you can and can't use. But for the most part, body sculpting, you're good. I did see one in, okay, that is not true. Let me say this. Someone that says Texas needs a massage license, that is not true. TDLR put out a blanket like meme or something on their social media pages, and me and a couple other instructors went nuts with them, okay? Because we said, wait a minute, if you are saying that you're requiring a massage license in the state of Texas, why are the massage schools not teaching it? If that is true, let us know. What they had to do was backtrack and say, you should make sure that you have someone with a professional license, but that is not true. There is not a body contouring license, and there is not a board that oversees body contouring in Texas right now. And I am a TDLR certified CEU vocational school, so I can tell you, you do not have to have a massage therapy license in the state of Texas. This is where I'm at. I know the laws well, so that is not true. But TDLR did have to backtrack their statement after they put that meme out there, because professional people like myself said, wait a minute, it was never enacted. So no, in the state of Texas, you do not need a massage license. But like I was saying before, you guys do still need licenses. Did you know that? And I went back and looked this up before I got on this call, and I will answer some of the other states that I know real quick, because I see y'all posting different states. But did you know that in the state of Texas there is a mobile cosmetology and mobile spa license? So here's what I want y'all to understand. Just because there's not a body sculpting license does not mean that you don't need a permit or a business license to do business. So I want you guys to do your research before you just go out there and take a class. Know that there are certain permits that you need, whether you are mobile, whether you're at home, whether you are in a facility, there are still licenses that you have to apply for. Now, that is something that you guys should be learning in class. Whatever instructor you are going to, they should have basic resources for you, so that when you come to them and say, hey, I have this question about A, B, and C, what do I do, right? So at the end of the day, you need to know what to do. If you don't, you need a resource to go to. So your instructor should be your resource, okay? So then a couple of other states, right now, New York, you don't have to have a specialty license, but you do need a business permit. Same with Virginia, same with a lot of other states. So like I said, I'm not gonna sit there and name out every state, but I'm telling you right now, body contouring is not regulated under one or another in most states, but it may be changing. So I will say that now is a good time to get in, because a lot of you guys, if you've already been practicing, you've already been certified 1, 2, 3 years, when some of these laws change, you can be grandfathered in, and you will already have your business permits before things change. When you wait and then a law is enacted, then you are blocked by that law. You can't move forward. So if you're thinking about getting into the industry, stop, thinking, oh, maybe I'll get into it, because later on it's going to get harder. One comment that I see, they aren't regulated in Texas. One of the board members told me to get my massage therapy license because it's coming up. That may be true, it may not be. We have another TDLR meeting scheduled for the end of this month, but at the end of the day, they cannot just say, okay, as of today, massage licenses are required. They can't do that. First of all, the massage therapy schools have to now start enacting and teaching some of these curriculums, so it does take time. Okay, so at the end of the day, they give you months of time. Like, let's say that a traditional massage therapy license, and I'm just throwing this out there, but a massage therapy license takes 5 months. Normally, they will enact at least 5 months for you to get a license before they say you can no longer do a service that your business has been doing. The other reason that I tell people don't just rush to get a massage license or an esthetician's license is because every state is different. Some states will adopt it under the esthetician scope. Some states will adopt it under massage scope. you don't know at the end of the day. So if you get an esthetician's license and then they say you have to have a massage license, then you still have to take it out of your scope of practice. So just be informed. That is why we go to TDLR's meetings. I know that for everybody has a cosmetology board, everybody has state licensure boards. You guys need to be getting your permits. That's my thing. Like at the end of the day, I have a spa license, right? So if anything changes, TDLR is sending me like, hey, this is what you need for this spa. But if you don't have licenses and permits to operate your business, when laws change, you don't know because you're not getting those emails. You're not getting that information. I tell people all the time, just because body sculpting is not regulated in Texas does not mean that I'm not going to be a registered spa in the state of Texas, because when COVID happened, they sent out emails saying, you guys might be having a different kind of spa. You're not doing facials, but you still have a spa in the state of Texas. You guys need to stop all services for 2-3 months due to COVID. If you didn't have a permit, you didn't know. And what TDLR was doing, they were sitting there putting businesses out. Body by Renee, we see that you are still operating during a TDLR shutdown. If you do not change or do not stop services immediately, you will be fined. They were calling businesses out by name, you guys. So if you don't have a business permit and you don't know what's happening in your state, whatever changes may or may not be enacted, you can easily get fined or shut down. And you can't say, oh, I didn't know. As a business owner, it's your job to do that research and figure out what it is that you need to do to operate legally and to be in compliance. Okay, so a couple other comments. I'm just looking as you guys talk. So Kentucky wasn't regulated, then they ended up sending it to esthetician's licensure. They were on it during COVID. Kentucky, I do still have quite a few students out there in Kentucky. I don't have the information, so I can't verify that. If you have the statute that they actually enacted that, please share it here in the group. We will do our research and say that, but I can't say that for sure about Kentucky, and I'm sure there's some people here from Kentucky, so I'm like, I can't say that until I know for sure, until I look at the statutes and the changes. But I will just say, no matter what state you are in, do your research, know what you are supposed to be doing, and even if you do not have to have a specific esthetician's license, you do need business permits no matter what business you have. And like I said, even if you have a mobile business, hell, even if you have an Airbnb, there's Airbnb different permits in the state of Texas. If you want to have an Airbnb, it doesn't matter what business you have. As a business owner, there's going to be some kind of business permit or license that you need. So do we just search business permits to go about getting the permits? Typically what I would tell you guys to Google is operating a spa in Texas or mobile spa license Virginia. Just looking up I would look up a little bit more specific. I wouldn't just say business permit Texas, because there's a million different kinds. You want to be as specific as you can to what you're doing. Like if I say Airbnb permit Texas, it's going to come up and say, do I need a permit in Texas for Airbnb? So you want to be a little bit more specific. Don't just say business permit. You want to say, spa business permit in your state, or, esthetician license in your state. So you want to be as specific as you can and make sure that you put your state or your city in that search so that it specifically pulls up the rules and regulations for your state. I can't find it. The teacher I learned body sculpting for, give me a minute, I'll put it. Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much for searching it and for sharing it. And if you can't find it while we are live, this is for Kentucky specifically, so we can be educated on some of the changes. If you cannot find it on the live, please DM it to us and we'll share it out. You guys know I'm all about sharing information. And then all the information here, you guys, that you may not, I may be live and talking about something here. If I don't share it here, I'm sharing it in our Facebook group nonstop. Body Sculpting Professionals on Facebook. You'll see, a picture of me where I'm talking about next week's live. That is where I constantly communicate. So if you don't see me live here, you'll see me doing information there throughout the week. So yes, please, send that information to us. Like I said, if you can't find it now, DM us or put it in the group and we'll share it there. Okay, but I really just wanted to touch on that because there are still people out there. I don't name names. I don't like hate on other instructors, but there are still people out there that are like, oh, you don't need a permit. You don't have to have a license. You can just come and take my class and start. And I'm like, that is not true. Even if you don't have to have a specific esthetician's license, there are still business permits, there's still paperwork you need to file. At the end of every class, I literally email students paperwork like, here's what you need to be looking for. So you cannot just put a blanket statement out there and say, oh yeah, it doesn't matter, you could just take this class. I'm never going to do that to anybody because I don't need your money that bad. I would rather have a successful student than someone who is out there doing stuff they're not supposed to do that winds up getting fined and shut down. That's not what I'm about. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And then the other thing, I know that it's hot and it's big and people are out there doing all these injections. Y'all, please be careful. Please, you cannot, there's only certain people in every state that should be doing injections and that can work with needles. Everybody cannot work with needles. So you want to make sure that you know what you're doing is correct. Because what happens is people do things for a little bit and they're like, oh, okay, we're good, I'm doing this. And then the medical boards come in and then all these things happen. You get fined, you get instantly shut down, and the rug is literally pulled from under you because you were doing something that you weren't supposed to do. And you cannot just say, oh, I was ignorant, I didn't know. As a business owner, it is our job to educate ourselves and to know what we are supposed to be compliant in, okay? Yeah, a lot of people are doing fillers, a lot of people are doing stuff that they're not supposed to do. So I would just, like I said, caution everybody, make sure y'all do your research, know what you're supposed to be doing before you just go out there and start adding all these new services. There are a lot of services that you guys can do, right? I mean, depending on what state you're in. I mean, there are certain states that literally would say you have to have an esthetician's license to do body wraps, but not to do wood therapy or cavitation, right? So you just want to look at it, figure out what's going on, and make sure that you stay in compliance. And at the end of the day, we literally instituted the cryotherapy program for students because in Alabama, it didn't specifically say they couldn't do cryo, but they could not do ultrasonic laser energy, right? So there's different things that you can do. It doesn't mean that your business is just instantly going to be shut down, but you need to look and see what you can do, what you can't do, what licenses you need, what permits you need, what operators agreements you need. I mean, there's certain things that I've applied for where they've been like, do you have an LLC operating agreement, or do you have a corporation agreement? And I'm like, oh, let me go write that up and make sure I have it, right? So you just don't know what kind of things you need until you start doing the research and figuring out exactly what's required. But if you just go in blindly and you're like, oh, I'm just going to start doing this, eventually those kind of things will catch up with you, okay? So that's what I have for you guys today. I really just wanted to share that because it bothers me when people are just like, oh, anybody can do everything and anything. And I'm like, that is not true. And I know for sure, like, I am a medical aesthetics practitioner. With a medical director, I can't just go out there on my own and just start doing a whole bunch of Botox. But with a medical director, I can do needle services. I can do Botox. I am trained in it. But that doesn't mean I'm just going to go out there and do it, right? I wanted to make sure that I got the education I needed. I got the licenses that I needed to do what I was supposed to do. And I just want to challenge you guys to all do the same, okay? So that's what I have for you guys today. Hope that y'all got something from the info. I'm excited to meet with you guys Saturday night. Like I said, it's Saturday night and Sunday night. We're starting at 7 p.m. More than likely, we'll go for about 2 hours. It really just depends on how many questions you guys have. But I will be doing techniques one night. I'm going to go over business. I'm going to go over like successful business launch. We're going to talk numbers. We're going to talk where you guys should be advertising. So I'm going to go very specific when I do those webinars. So I hope that you guys can join us. Once again, the link is in the bio. If you are on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, I will be posting it on the video. And it's Building Beauty Empires with an S, buildingbeautyempires.com/bootcamp. Okay, that's where you sign up. So buildingbeautyempires.com bootcamp. You guys can sign in there. Oh, thank you guys so much. I'm nothing if not honest, and I'll be honest with you as well. Like if you ask me a question, if I don't know the answer to it, I'm gonna tell you. If I know the answer, I'm gonna share the information with you. Like me being successful is great and all, but I want the people around me to be successful as well. Like that's the point. Like I shouldn't be just holding information. So I'm always going to be as honest with you as I can be, and then I'm also going to be honest with you when I see things happening that shouldn't be, so that I can help you guys to be better business owners because somebody helped me along the way. And not as many people helped me because it was a newer industry when I first came in. So if I can help somebody not make the same mistake that I made, I'm all about sharing that information. All right. So once again, if you go to the link in the bio, you guys can sign up for Saturday session. It's 2 days. It's a free webinar. I'm just gonna do probably about 2 hours each day. And then also for those of you guys who are interested in the summit, we are still selling tickets. The link is in the bio for that as well. That is your opportunity to hear amazing people outside of me, not just me, but people who are in spa marketing, people who are in all kinds of stuff, accounting, people who are in legal, so that you guys get the resources you need to be better business owners outside of just my limited knowledge. These are going to be people who are specialized in what they do. I'm really excited to have people like Six Figure Spa Chick, like Daniela from Spa Marketing Made Easy, and so many other people coming to share with you guys. That event is October 27th through the 29th in Houston. Ticket sales are still going, but when we're sold out, we're sold out. So hope that I can see many of you guys there as well. If y'all have questions about the summit, if you have questions about the free webinar, or if you have questions in general about business, please send them to the DMs. Me and my team will answer as best as we can. And outside of that, we will be back next Wednesday to share some more knowledge. Next week, I'm gonna go more technique based with y'all, because this week we kind of talked about marketing. So next week we'll, or business this week. So next week we'll talk more on the technique side. So y'all have an amazing evening. I hope that everybody is already having a great evening. I will see y'all next week. Cheers to you and happy hump